And the Twins, who have won their last 4 series, 2 out of 3 in those series, taking on a Yankee team that's done the exact same thing. And the Twins just hoping to beat the Yankees after being swept in a 4-game series. And that does seem a long, long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
And so the Yankees, in the middle of a long road trip here, or the start of a week-long road trip before the All-Star break. And here's Joe Girardi's batting order for the series opener. Brought to you by Menards. Derek Jeter leading off. Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Hideki Matsui, Nick Swisher, Robinson Cano, Brett Gardner, and the catcher tonight, Francisco Cervelli.
That lineup right there is not going to do much against this guy right here. My scouting report on Scott Baker, making his 16th start of the year. He's 2-0 lifetime against the New York Yankees with a 1.50 ERA. He's coming off a great month of June, 6 starts, 4-0, 3.2 ERA. A guy that Ron Coomer said in the pregame, he feels that this guy could be the ace. And keep it going, Scott Baker.
Northland Ford defense for the Minnesota Twins. Span, Gomez, and Kadai are the outfielders. Gelman Young, the designated hitter. Joe Creedy, Brendan Harris, Nick Punto, Justin Morneau, and Joe Mauer behind the plate. Top vote getter for the American League in the All-Star balloting. Derek Jeter stands in the box, and we're getting ready to go here. Facing Scott Baker.
Yeah, for Jeter, this will be his 10th All-Star game in his 15th season as a New York Yankee. The captain of the Yankees, Derek Jeter.
And up and in, and the fans who watched the Twins get swept in New York like the first pitch of this series.
Well, Baker has a good fastball. He's got to keep it down in the strike zone. He'll mix in a curveball, slider, and then the circle changeup.
Pitch left up, and Jeter fouls it back, 1-1.
Now, Baker making his 3rd career start against the Yankees, but his other 2 starts, you have to go back to 2006. So it's been a while for Scott Baker to face the New York Yankees.
And Baker had 2 very good starts, one of them in Yankee Stadium. He won a ball game where there was about a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing in, perfect for a fly ball pitcher.
Yeah, that game was, I think it was called after 8 innings.
Yes, yep. And then he had a game here against the Yankees earlier that year, and he was just kind of, getting adjusted to life as a major leaguer, and he pitched a beautiful ball game against the Yankees.
Yeah, he beat Mike Mussina, 5-1 back on April 14, 2006.
1-2 to the leadoff man. Fastball rifled foul. Jeter and the Yankees playing very well. 12 wins in the last 14 ball games. Coming off a loss, however. And Joe Girardi has seen his team recover from a slow start. 14 games above the 500 mark. The Twins just 3 games above the 500 mark. Down and away.
Well, the Yankees offensively, only the Angels have hit better right now than the New York Yankees. They come in hitting 274 as a ball club. The Angels hitting 281. The Twins are 5th best offensively. But the Yankees, they're about home runs. 125 home runs they have hit as a team. 79 coming in new Yankee Stadium.
They're playing in a phone booth at home.
Yeah, yes, they are.
A little looper into right center, and that'll die for a base hit. Jeter doinks one into center field for a leadoff hit. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan, and we welcome all of you and thank you for your service.
Yes, and God bless everyone.
Twins had Armed Forces Appreciation Day here on Sunday, and now here on a Tuesday night we're giving our servicemen and women some baseball to watch. Johnny Damon takes strike 1.
Damon having a very solid season. You see the 16 home runs, 49 RBIs, a career 289 hitter, hitting at 284. 19 doubles, 3 triples for Johnny Damon. That open batting stance.
Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. the one home run and the one run batted in against the Twins, a walk-off home run in New York. The Twins had 3 late inning leads slip through their fingers in being swept in the 4 games at the new Yankee Stadium. 2 strikes to Damon. Jeter stealing more bases this year. He stole just 11 last year. He already has 17 this year. Foul back. Baker, as is his pattern, leaving some fastballs up, and at times he can get away with it if it's up far enough. Right out of the strike zone.
Yeah, early in the ball game, he's got that little bit of giddy up where he can get some strikeouts, almost like Kevin Slowey can do. But Rick Anderson, the pitching coach right there, he would prefer if Baker could get the ball down. Now, Scott Baker is not a ground ball pitcher. He may get a ground ball on a breaking ball, but normally that fastball will create fly ball outs.
And what they've been working with Scott on from time to time through his career, when he gets 2 strikes on a batter, go ahead and bounce a curveball. You try to throw it in the dirt, get a swing and a miss, and trust your catcher to block it.
Well, he has a tendency to drag his arm, and what I mean by that, his body gets out so quick that his arm is dragging, that is kind of behind him, and he doesn't get that ball down. Like that right there. When you're quick with the upper part of your torso and your hips are flying open, then your arm, you have to have a quick arm. And Baker doesn't have a quick arm, so you have to stay back a little bit longer to allow your arm to catch up so you can create that downward plane toward Joe Mauer's glove.
1-2.
And you're right, Dick. A breaking ball sometimes can get you back into that groove because for a good breaking ball, you have to stay back a little longer.
A little foul, and Baker hoping that we don't go through this all again. Remember his last start against Kansas City, all the foul balls that he gave up.
You had a Bloomquist into Pena. Right here you see his delivery right there. You see the arm just kind of dragging. He's not out front, doesn't get over the ball. Talk about so much about bending your back. Baker's not a pitcher that bends his back. A lot of times from the center field camera, you can see the number 30 after he releases the ball.
Call 3rd strike. And remember, Damon, the last time he played against the Twins, took a call 3rd strike early in the game and was thrown out of the game.
Well, Baker will pick up some strikeouts. 75 pitches now in 92 in the 3rd innings, and that looked like the changeup right there. Took a little off, and then the ball clipping the inner half of the plate.
So 1 down, and now here's Mark Teixeira.
Yeah, Baker coming off that last start against Kansas City. Last on May 30th, he threw 111 pitches in 5 innings. He got the win in that ball game, but Twins won that ball game 2-1, but too many pitches in a short amount of time.
But you look at the 111 pitches, and ordinarily when you see that 111 pitches over 5 innings, you think, well, he threw a lot of balls and was behind in the. That wasn't the case. 75 strikes.
Right.
It's just the Royals kept flipping him foul
because he didn't have that strikeout pitch in that ball game. He had only 1 strikeout with 2 walks in that ball game. He had a career high 10 strikeouts back in early June against the Indians here at the Metrodome.
Snap bat and a little flare into center. It's a base hit. Jeter round second on his way to 3rd, and he'll reach. And a couple of bloops for the Yankees, and they have a threat in the 1st.
You see the maturity right there of Carlos Gomez almost on that. Jeter got a great read on that. He was going to go to 3rd base, and we've seen Gomez early on take this little flare right here that lands in front of Gomez and try to attempt to get Jeter at 3rd, but instead he holds onto the ball and then gets it back in the infield. Good choice by Gomez. Why? It keeps the double play in order.
Alex Rodriguez swinging a hot bat coming into this series, comes up here in the 1st inning with 2 men aboard. The Yankees have had 3 batters come to the plate, a strikeout, and a couple of flares for hits. And Rodriguez, who has bounced into 6 double plays, comes up here with runners on the corners. Swing and a miss.
A good slider right there by Rodriguez. Basically a fastball hitter. He likes the ball in. He's one of these hitters that if you go in, you have to go hard in off the plate and then make him chase that breaking ball away.
Jeter at 3rd, and Teixeira chatting with Morneau at 1st. Little pop up behind first. Morneau backpedaling. Punto behind him. Foul ball catch. 2 away. And Teixeira bluffed the tag and then spun his wheels when he tried to stop. Big second out here in the first inning.
That's a huge out right there for Scott Baker. Got Rodriguez to chase a fastball up in the strike zone to create that pop-up.
And that'll bring up Hideki Matsui.
Yeah, this is a lineup filled with all-stars.
Yeah, take a deep breath after you get A-Rod out. Now you get this guy.
Yeah.
He's had cranky knees this year. It'll be interesting with these 3 games played in less than 48 hours, how many games and how many innings he'll be able to play, even in the DH spot. Change up away.
Hideki Matsui, 34 years old, from Japan, signed by the Yankees back in 2002 as a free agent. This is his 7th season with the Yankees. 2-time American League All-Star.
And now up and away. 2-0.
I think what we've seen from time to time from Baker is what you were talking about. He does not make the adjustment. A lot of pitches are up, and the quicker as a starting pitcher you can make the adjustment of dropping some balls on top of home plate, trusting that your catcher Joe Mauer will block that ball. If you continue to stay up here, you're going to get hurt.
And Matsui takes a strike.
Even that pitch right there, even though it's a breaking ball in a fastball situation, the location of that pitch is still belt high.
17 home runs allowed for Baker in less than 100 innings pitched.
Yeah, for some reason, right-handers have hit 14 home runs off of Baker and only 3 off of left-handed hitters. See Mauer going through a set of signs.
Line to center, and Gomez has to play it on a hop. It's a base hit, and the Yankees get a first-inning run on a 2-out hit from Matsui.
Well, you fall behind on all-star players, and you have to come in with the pitch. Now, he went 2-0 with a breaking ball. He comes back with a fastball, but he left it out over the plate. And Matsui driving in his 39th run, and the Yankees take an early 1-0 lead. See where Joe, he even patted the glove on the ground. Give me that ball down. And Matsui lines it into center field.
So 3 singles and a first-inning run so far, and here's Nick Swisher. Big swing and a foul. Again, the pitch center cut over the middle of the plate, belt high.
Well, Swisher, you can see the 14 home runs. Now his average at 242. He's a career 244 hitter, but this guy does have power from both sides of the plate. As a left-handed hitter, 11 of his 14 home runs have come from the left side of the plate. Outfield playing pretty even up for Nick Swisher.
And a higher fastball and a swing and a miss, 0-2. I guess that's what I was suggesting before to you. I don't, Baker, when he throws strikes, they seem high. His most successful pitches are high fastballs that are out of the strike zone.
He does not, as I mentioned before, he does not bend his back. So how do you get your arm out front if you're almost standing straight up?
2 strikes. Baker trying to get out of this first inning. A foul. And that's off of Mauer's helmet, I think, and over the screen. We mentioned all the pitches in his last outing, 5 innings. He got the win, 111 pitches, and the Yankees, after a game like that, are the last team you'd want to face.
Well, watch this, Dick, right here. Keep an eye on Baker. Okay, he's trying to get the ball, but you can see him almost stand straight up after he releases the ball, rather than you watch a lot of guys that pitch a lot of innings. They bend their back.
This will be the 24th pitch of this first inning for Baker. A little off and got a foul ball.
And you're probably at home saying, boy, he talks about that a lot. How do you correct that? Sometimes you just have to shorten your stride a little bit. I had a tendency to be up in the strike zone. What I tried to do, especially with my curveball, is shorten my stride maybe about 2 or 3 inches. Not a foot, not 2 feet, but just a couple inches, so I land more on the ball of my foot rather than the heel of my foot, and that allows my body to get over the top and then create that good downward plane.
And another 2-strike foul. And as I think we've mentioned before, there's a picture outside the Twins media relations office here of you doing exactly in the middle of a game, the follow through, the working out front, the snap of the wrist and all that.
And you saw him land on his heel right there rather than the ball of your foot. And it's just that little bit of extra stride that's keeping him up in the strike zone.
26th pitch of the first inning for Baker.
Remember I said about trusting your catcher that he can stop the ball? Here's a breaking ball right here that Joe Mauer does a great job of blocking it and keeping the runners at first and second. That's the slider right there that almost gets Swisher in one of his shoes, but Joe Mauer, one of the best as far as blocking that pitch.
So all these high fastballs and a high changeup and now a breaking ball in the dirt, maybe setting up the next pitch.
Well, you change the angle, the eye angle of that hitter.
And a 90-mile-per-hour fastball takes care of Swisher and the Yankees. 3 singles and a first-inning run. Ron Gardenheimer. Bernard Span leading off. Brendan Harris hitting second. Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Michael Kadire, Joe Creedy, Delman Young, Carlos Gomez, and Nick Punto. The Twins have won 4 series in a row. They haven't faced the opponent's ace in any of those 4 series, and that'll change starting tonight.
Well, CC Sabathia making his 18th start will face the Twins here tonight. He's coming off a rare bad outing in his last start in New York against the Seattle Mariners. He gave up 6 earned runs and an 8-4 loss to the Mariners. And when he's on, he relies on good fastball, very good control, and then that hard, nasty strikeout slider.
Span will lead things off, then Harris and Mauer. Over for a strike. Sabathia is stingy against lefties and righties, really not much difference. The Twins start Span, Mauer, and Morneau, and the rest of the lineup all right-handed hitters or switch hitters in tonight's game. Outside, 1-1. Twins had an off day yesterday. Last time they had an off day, Bernard Span got 5 hits. You can see what we're talking about. One of the reasons he got the big contract he got, because he does not give up many hits.
Yeah, opponents overall hitting .220. He's allowed 9 home runs.
Inside 2-1. Ron Gardenhire, every time he's faced Sabathia, has mentioned that the Twins would like to use the running game and the bunting game against Sabathia, feeling that in the past they've had some success getting him a little riled out there by dropping down some bunts.
They used to do that against Jack Morris when Morris pitched for the Tigers.
Swing and a foul, 2-2.
Well, you can see the good fastball by Sabathia. He'll throw it in the mid-90s. This guy, 28 years old, at 6'7", and about 290 pounds. So he's a big man. He does a great job when he's on of getting that weight over the pitching rubber and then really exploding toward home plate.
2-2 to Span. And now a full count. In that last start against the Mariners, in addition to 10 hits in 5 2/3 innings, there were 3 walks. Sabathia early in the season struggled with his control a little bit, but by and large, since May 1st or so, he's not issued a whole lot of walks. Ground ball skittering over to Cano, and Span retired, 1 away. Northland Ford defense for the Yankees. And all-stars, or former all-stars, just about everywhere you look. Damon, Gardner, and Swisher in the outfield. Rodriguez not an all-star this year. Jeter and Cano up the middle. Teixeira, Gold Glove caliber defense at first, and Cervelli doing the catching tonight with Sabathia on the mound. There's Teixeira, very sure-handed and agile first baseman. 1 down. Here's Brendan Harris. And he takes strike 1. As for Harris, all this talk about the Yankees coming to town, having to face Sabathia, his attitude probably bring him on. He had a terrible series against Detroit, 1 for 17, 6 strikeouts, the average plummeting to 270. The one hit that he got was a deep fly ball to right field off the glove of the right fielder, so he could very easily have gone hitless in the 3-game series with Detroit.
Well, hopefully, hitters get hot and cold. And Ron Coomer, I know you're down there. When you're facing a guy like CC Sabathia, there's no time going in your mental mind of you're swinging a bad bat.
No, what you got to do against a guy like this, Bert, is you got to be prepared to hit against him as soon as you step in the batter's box. So to me, a guy like Sabathia, I would do 2 things. A, if you know what you're going to get and you've got some history against him, look for that pitch and be prepared for it. The other thing, you guys have touched on it already about aggravating Sabathia. You said something about our other buddy in the other booth, Jack Morris, Mr. Sunshine, who everybody used to really like to aggravate by bunting a lot and hitting and running and doing the little things. To me, Sabathia is a guy that if the Twins can push his pitch count up early, that's very good. If they can make him run around the field and field balls a little bit, that's also very good. He's the classic guy. If he gets into the 5th or 6th and is rolling pretty good, he's really tough to hit.
2-2 to Harris and a strikeout. And Sabathia gets a couple of quick outs here in the 1st.
I think he's thrown everything but fastball so far. He has that nasty slider, but he's one of those guys, again, that get that fastball in the mid-90s, and he wants to establish that fastball as the game starts. Right here, good fastball, just overpowering Harris. Sabathia picking up his first strikeout, 87 in 115 innings pitched.
2 down, and here's Joe Mauer. Mauer with 256 plate appearances. The number he would need after the Twins' 84th game tonight to qualify for the league leadership in batting is 260.4. If they round that down, he just needs 4 plate appearances tonight, and he'll have enough to be in the listings in the top 10 in hitting.
Well, Joe, 5 for 20 lifetime against Sabathia.
Guys, this will be a perfect example of watching a classic average hitter and how he's going to approach CC Sabathia, who's maybe as good a lefty as we have in the American League. I got to believe Joe's going to look away and be prepared for the pitch away and then just try to shoot the ball to left field like we've seen forever.
Like that. That one's going to twist and turn foul.
All three pitches so far on Coomer have been outer half of the plate. First one for a strike, the other one for a ball, and then that one right there fouled off of Joe's bat.
Bert, I've watched Sabathia pitch for a long time, and as a hitter, a lot of times, guys, you classify a guy or you see which side of the plate he feels most comfortable pitching to. To me, Sabathia feels most comfortable pitching to the inside part of the plate to a righty or away from Joe Mauer. That's his side of the plate.
1-2 to the Twins catcher. And now 2-2.
That big breaking ball right there. Yeah, Sabathia, unlike Baker, does a great job of his follow through. You don't see the number 52 from the center field camera. You see a guy that is 6'7" at 290 that really stays back and then really explodes toward home plate. It's a very good follow through, and that's why this guy has been very durable over his career.
Chopper to short. Easy play for Jeter. And Sabathia has a 1-2-3 first inning.
First inning, good job at damage control, at least got out of that inning. It did allow 3 hits, but only 1 run. Now, these two guys, Sabathia and Baker, they hooked up in the last time the Twins saw CC Sabathia, and that was in Cleveland of last year when CC Sabathia beat Scott Baker 1-0. And Baker actually gave up a run in the first inning and then pitched 7 very good innings after that, but he lost to Sabathia 1-0.
Cano, Gardner, and Cervelli facing Baker here in the second. And ball 1. Twins picked up a half game yesterday. They were idle. The Tigers lost to Kansas City, and tonight the Tigers have opened up a lead on the Royals. Lifted foul. Tigers have 3 games against the Royals, and they get their off day this week on Thursday.
Well, Yankees only 1 game behind the Boston Red Sox. There's a lot of elements that have gone into the Yankees having a good year at 48 wins, 34 losses. Robinson Cano, they really feel that he's back to where he was a couple years ago. Kind of had an upsetting year last year, didn't have the best of years, and now he's hitting .303. A lot of people feel in New York that he maybe should have been on the All-Star team. He was back in 2006.
Well, the record shows the Yankees got 3 All-Stars and the Twins got 3 All-Stars. 1-2 to Cano. And Baker again following the pattern that really dogged him at Kauffman Stadium. getting ahead of hitters as he should, but unable to finish them off with so many foul balls.
Well, sometimes you throw too many good strikes. Right there, Mauer wanted that ball in. The ball left out over the plate, so Cano fouled it off. Baker's averaged only 1.8 walks per 9 innings. Excellent control. He fits into that Twins starter mode very good. But another go back in now. Now get the ball in there. And the ball left out over the plate. A lot of times when I was struggling like Baker to get it in, I wanted my catcher to almost sit way off the plate. So I would tell myself to get the ball in there because my visualization was always at the glove. Especially when you have a catcher that's as big as Joe Mauer at 6'5". My concentration was right in the center of that glove. So I wanted my catcher to move for me off the plate.
Driven hard into the right field corner. A leadoff hit for Cano. And it'll die in the corner. And Cano has a stand-up double after a long at-bat against Baker. He's already thrown 32 pitches here.
But look at this breaking ball right here, Dick. It just kind of flattens out. Allows Cano just to drop the barrel of the bat. Left-handers like the ball down and in. But you can see how that ball just kind of spun in there rather than any type of downward plane. And Cano did what he should have, and he hits that ball right into the corner. Kadire gets it back in. But the 4th hit for the Yankees. And Cano with his 22nd double of the year.
Brett Gardner getting the start in center field in place of Melky Cabrera. And then the catcher Cervelli. So we'll see if Gardner, left-handed batter, is able to pull the ball and get Cano at least to third base.
Well, maybe even bunt him over. Well, he swings away.
One strike.
Gardner in his 2nd season with the Yankees, up and down last year. Just 25 years old.
Actually won the outfield job over Cabrera coming out of spring training, but Cabrera has seen most of the time out there and been one of the Yankees' top clutch hitters late in games this year. One strike. Other than Swisher's strikeout that ended the first inning, has there been a swing and a miss tonight? 2 strikes to Gardner.
Now Swisher, I think, swung twice and missed. I think that's about it.
With the, what do you call that? A mohawk type look?
Never know with him. He's one of the characters of the game.
Off of Baker. And Harris has no play. Baker's again becoming the human pincushion out there on the mound. And now the Yankees will have runners at 1st and 3rd, and Baker going to get a visit to the mound from Dave Prumer and Ron Gardenhire.
Remember about 4 starts ago, that ball hitting Baker off his glove. Harris fielded it. It was a 1-6-3 put out. His last start in Kansas City, a ball was hit off of Baker, and that went toward third base right there, right off the buttocks right there, and Harris has no play. As Cano scoots over to third, and it's an infield hit for Gardner.
5 Yankee hits in the first 8 at bats. And now here's Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli, the backup catcher to Jorge Posada. There's some thought that the Yankees may activate Jose Molina in time for tomorrow's game. And what that might do to Cervelli might be predictable. So Cervelli gets the start here tonight with Sabathia on the mound.
Yeah, Cervelli only 23 years old from Venezuela. He got a September call-up last year. Jorge Posada, who spent some time on a disabled list.
Twins infield playing back. They'll hope for a ground ball hit at somebody other than off the pitchers behind. Foul ball.
Keep an eye on Gardner at first base. 17 stolen bases on the year in 19 attempts.
Which is one of the reasons why he won that center field battle over Cabrera coming out of spring training. Yankees have 59 stolen bases. Jeter has 17 and Gardner has 17. And Joe Girardi playing with the lead, and a threat again here in the 2nd. Fastball sailing inside. mindful of the fact the Twins are the only team in baseball with 11 pitchers, and they had Kevin Slowey give them another short start and was put on the disabled list in the Detroit series, and no off days between now and the All-Star break. They prefer to not turn this game over to the bullpen any earlier than they have to.
Yeah, let's hope Baker can work out of this. They need 6-7 good innings from Scott Baker. Even though the off day yesterday, like you mentioned, those guys, and that's why the starters and the pitching staff in general, really since June 9th, have been outstanding. 15-9, very good combined 3.25 earned run average.
Step off and a look over. Nick Blackburn with a complete game on Sunday. That helped. And the off day yesterday. Baker's been pretty much on the ropes here throughout. So far, just one run allowed. Just outside, 2-1. So Baker, even though he's thrown a lot of pitches, this is one of the few times he's actually been behind in the count.
As a starting pitcher going into the ballgame, we saw CC Sabathia establish a fastball early, make him hit contact, make him hit a pitch right here. And Baker, there hasn't really been anything that he's trying to establish right now. Everything has been up in the strike zone.
High fly down the left field line and deep. Span. A fair ball catch. Everybody moves up. A deep sacrifice fly by Cervelli, and it's 2-0.
Cervelli picking up his 8th RBI. Span having to hustle into that corner at 343 feet away and makes the fair ball catch. Cano tags up. He scores a second run for the Yankees. And Brett Gardner, he tagged up at first and scooted into second.
So 2-0, and here's Jeter, who started Baker's long first inning by looping a single into center field. Another foul ball. 41 pitches for Baker, 32 strikes. And it seems like 22 of those have been foul balls. Up high, 1-1. Not a whole lot of pace to this game. Twins have been out in the field a long time. That's deep to the right field corner, and Kadire with a long run. It's a foul ball and out of play.
A nice grab right there, I believe, by somebody's hat.
He reached over the railing.
Yep.
And caught it. That's outstanding.
High fives all around. Caught it with his hat.
1-2. Baker got a big strikeout to get out of the first inning. Swisher to wrap it up. He'd like to get Jeter here. And a bouncer wide of third. As Baker delivered to the plate, Harris was cutting behind the runner at second. So who puts that contact play on? Is it shortstop?
It's a daylight play, and what you want to do as a pitcher when you come to that set position, pick up your shortstop, because Punto's playing a deep second base, so it's Harris, the shortstop, that's trying to keep Gardner close to second. When he gives you that open glove, you either have two options. You can wheel and throw, or you can step off, but you don't want to throw a ball toward home plate where your shortstop's standing at second base.
1-2.
And there goes Gardner.
And the pitch hacked into the Yankee dugout. Gardner got a great jump, and Jeter hit a screamer into his dugout.
He got a great jump because Baker didn't give him two looks. As a pitcher, a lot of times when you have a fast runner at second base, what you want to do is give him more than one look, or even come to where you go up with that left leg and then kind of wheel a little bit right there. If he did the wheel right there, he's got Gardner as an out. Just show him that you have it.
Just off the corner, and it's 2-2.
That's a pitch that you need right there. But if you're all over the place, and then all of a sudden you throw a nasty pitch, will home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg give it to you? That looked like a pretty good pitch right there, outer half of the plate.
Two and two. Hopped up. And Kadir with the catch. Out number 2. He was a smash hit last season. Now batting stance guy is back in Twins baseball. Tonight we begin a new feature called Guess the Stance. Who is this major league player? Stay tuned to the Quest Twins Live postgame show for the answer. What do you think? Somebody's going to start somebody's going to start the pitching delivery guy. Here's Jeter, caught looking Damon rather, caught looking his first time up, and there's strike one. If you want to make your guess, you can text it to us using short code 234234. One strike to Damon. Over the mound. Harris charges, has no play. It's an infield hit and a look over to Gardner. So in Baker's defense, the Yankees keep hitting hits. They now have 6 of them, but half of them have been bloops or bouncers.
Well, not much you can do about this right here. A high chopper over the mound. Damon and his speed just beats this out. Harris has no play, smartly holds on to the ball. So runners at the corners, there are 2 outs.
Teixeira busted his bat but dropped a single into short center field in the first inning. This will be the 50th pitch of the night for Scott Baker. And another foul ball.
Sometimes as a pitcher you go through that dead arm stage even though your arm feels good. Remember, Baker started the season on a disabled list with some right shoulder soreness. Then he kind of struggled, in April and part of May, where June was an outstanding month. But maybe, through his last start, so many pitches in a short amount of time, you kind of go through that dead arm stage.
Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Maurer.
And I don't know if that's what he's going through right now, but maybe because of the so many foul balls in his last start and so many foul balls here, he doesn't have that strikeout pitch right now.
First and third, another run in here in the second. All right, there have been 40 strikes thrown, and the balls put in play count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 balls that have been put in play.
I think there's only one good answer to this. If you're a fan, bring your glove when Baker pitches. You got a good chance to get a foul ball.
There have been 31 strikes, and I'd venture to say at least 25 foul balls. And a snap bat, and Teixeira, starting the road trip, has lost 2 bats and gotten 2 hits. The Yankees get another run, and it's 3-0. So he's been fooled twice. And that bat really exploded, and it's 3-0 New York.
Again, Yankees have been playing very good baseball. Things have been going their way. Good fastball inside out swing, shattering the bat, and this ball finding a way to get to left field. Good base running by Johnny Damon. He doesn't stop. Span doesn't have a play. Runners at the corners again. Teixeira gets his second hit, his 62nd RBI of the year.
Not sure if Damon might not have injured himself advancing to third base somehow. Here's Rodriguez, fouled out to Morneau, his first time up. And the fastball down the middle, a rare called strike. Even rarer have been the swings and misses. It'll be odd next week for the All-Star game to be held without Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's been in 12 American League All-Star games.
And another strike taken. So he's taking a fastball for a strike, the breaking pitch for a strike.
Remember, Rodriguez's season really didn't start almost the same time Joe Mauer's season started in early May.
High.
Well, see, that's a good pitch for Baker right there because he's been up there all day. That'd be easy for him to hit that high pitch. Throw it up high. Now let's work on the one down.
57 pitches so far, counting the next one for Baker.
See Joe Mauer go through a set of signs. See where he moves. Away.
And a swing and a miss. Rodriguez strikes out. 4 Yankee hits and 2 more runs in the second.
Miguel Cabrera, Placido Polanco each have gone deep, and Billy Butler has hit a solo home run followed by an RBI single. So the Royals are hanging in there in a back-and-forth game, but right now they trail 7-5. But Bert Blyleven, at this point in the season, you just have to worry about your own business rather than watching the scoreboard too often, right?
This time of the year, you're right, Robbie, but you love those pitchers' duels. I always like those.
Here's Morneau taking a strike at the knees. Tigers, by the way, are going to shut down Rick Porcello for a while after seeing the young right-hander struggle in his last couple of starts.
He's in his first year. You know, Jim Leland, I think all of baseball now really kind of protects these young guys going into their first full year.
Morneau takes outside, and the plan for Porcello was only to have him go 160 to 180 innings anyway, so they're just giving him a mid-season break and hopefully freshen him up a little bit. Tigers with a 1.5 game lead on the Twins. The White Sox another half game back. And the White Sox, of course, come in here after the Yankee series. 1-1 to Morneau. Told me today he is not going to participate in the Home Run Derby this year. He was invited. And of course, last year won it. And just decided this year he's going to sit it out and watch it and be a fan.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is his prerogative. 1-2. Lefty versus lefty. Bowler to short. Jeter to Teixeira, 1 away. And that'll bring up Michael Kadire. Both Justin Morneau and Joe Mauer will be going to the All-Star game for good reason. Chrysler key stat. Since May 1st, which is really when Mauer's season began, they've combined for 96 RBI.
Yeah, pretty good combo right there. The M&M boys, 96, and then Teixeira and Rodriguez, you saw them right in second.
Michael Kadire taking a fastball, and ball 1. And mostly right-handed batters for the Twins against Sabathia, but he's numbers-wise just as tough against righties as lefties. 2-0.
But like Ron Coomer mentioned earlier, Sabathia, he kind of works off that third base side of the pitching rubber just a little bit, pretty much down the middle, but he really likes to pound right-handers in with the fastball and then the hard slider down and in. He's got size 18 shoes to cover that whole pitching rubber.
Kadire drives it deep to left field. Gone, a home run. Sabathia fell behind him and paid the price.
Home run number 14 on the year for Kadire. And he gets one of the 3 runs back for the Twins on one swing. His first career home run against Sabathia. A fastball that Ravelli, the catcher, wanted away, and the ball ended up over the plate.
Here's Creedy. Fastball singes the outside corner.
Well, it's good to see Kadire hitting for power.
1 strike to Creedy. Fouled back. Creedy hasn't had much luck against Sabathia. 6 hits, 38 at bats. But the only guy on the Twins, well, actually, Alexi Castillo is not with the club, but the only guy on the major league roster who's had any success against Sabathia is Mike Redmond, who's 13 for 26 against him. Creedy pops it up right center field, and Cano drifts back to make the catch out, number 2. And that'll bring up Delman Young.
Well, Sabathia making his 28th start against the Twins. He has 12 wins, 8 losses in his career against the Twins, and 8 of the 12 wins have come here at the Metrodome.
Twins leaving Kubel and Busher, Tolbert, Morales, and Redmond on the bench, and having Delman Young as the designated hitter. Swing and miss, 1 strike. Young hit his 3rd home run of the year over the weekend. Just off the plate, and it's 1-1.
Sabathia, of course, a 2007 Cy Young Award winner when he was with the Cleveland Indians. American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year back in 2001.
1-2. And in a lot of ways, his career following a similar path as Johan Santana's, and now they're both pitching in the New York market. Sabathia was held on to by the Indians. They dealt him in the middle of the season. The Twins traded Santana during the prior offseason. And Young is gone in 3 pitches. The Twins get a run back on a Kadire home run. Former PGA champ Rick Beam will join us when we come back. rifle going up there and walking across the very beginning of the mighty Mississippi. The Itasca Park, established in 1891, more than 32,000 acres and more than 100 lakes. 3-1, Yankees have the lead. We go to the third inning. We're very happy to have former PGA champion Rich Beam with us in the booth. It was, back in 2002, right, that you won it at Hazeltine?
Yes, sir, 02.
And you're in town. You played a round or two over there to kind of scout out the longer Hazeltine, right?
Very much longer Hazeltine, yeah. We came in on Saturday and got a practice on Sunday, did some media work on Monday for the intro, and then went out and played another quick 18 this morning.
Hideki Matsui with a 1-1 count. Did you lose any golf balls? Every time I play Hazeltine, I lose a lot of golf balls.
I actually did.
Did you really?
It's already long and hard. Yeah, absolutely I did.
Everybody thinks of Hazeltine and the 16th hole, the signature hole over the water and all that. Here's a chopper to third, and Creedy has it. What's the pros' reaction to that hole? And of course, you guys are playing it with the tees way back there. Yeah,
I mean, it's by far one of the most visually intimidating holes we have out there. And look at this putt. This actually goes in. But yeah, it was. I like that putt. It's definitely probably the most visually intimidating holes we have out there. And coming down the stretch of the championship on the line, you definitely want to have a lead of some sort going into that hole.
Right.
Rich, I love the game of golf, but to watch you guys play, your short game is incredible. Down in Fort Myers, we have George McNeil, who is on the tour, and he's a great player. I've had a chance to play with him. There's a line drive base hit right there by Nick Swisher getting his first hit, and for the Yankees, that's their 8th hit. But you know what? When you look at golf, and then we're going to look at some of your baseball swings today.
Oh no!
Which one do you? Wait a minute. Did that get out of the infield?
Easy now. I got a couple. There we go. Yes, see, there we go. Absolutely.
I must have missed that one.
By choice, I'm sure.
Now what, Twins manager Ron Gardenhire was pitching too?
He was. He took the time out to come down there and loosen up and throw me some pitches, and we had a great time. He threw me, for about 20 minutes. It was definitely a highlight.
I was talking about the tour. I don't mean to interrupt away from your baseball swing, but when you guys are hot, we saw you make that putt. I mean, you guys must just be in a zone that's unbelievable.
It really is. You can say that the long game kind of matters. Everybody talks about the power game, but when you look at it, Tiger Woods is he's got one of the best short games ever invented, and same thing with Phil Mickelson. So you look at all the guys that are winning, it's definitely because they have a very keen short game that week, and that's definitely why they won.
Well, how is your game now?
My long game is okay. My short game, I still need to do a little work before we come back up here in 5 weeks for the tournament, but it's getting better. My game actually is very solid right now. Just it's just like anything. You just got to kind of fine-tune a few things here and there, and once you can do that, then...
Well, Rich, it used to be 430 par 4s. Now they're 470, 480. Is it because of the equipment? Or is it just you guys are getting stronger?
It's a little bit of both. The equipment, you're able to fine-tune your equipment so much more with the technology, and certainly the kids coming out of college and the young ranks, they're definitely more athletes now. They're working out. They're in the gym. They're doing everything they possibly can to become physically fit, and they're treating it a lot more like a business than it ever has been in the past.
1-1 to Cano, who doubled leading off the second and scored one of the 2 Yankee runs in the second inning. What's it like for you and probably everybody else on the tour? I remember back in 2002. Were you ahead of Tiger? Obviously you finished, but where on the golf course on the last day?
Yeah, I'd actually built a very substantial lead going with about 5 holes to go. I think I had a 6-stroke lead, and I was playing fantastic. And Tiger was the group in front of us, and then all of a sudden, starting on 15, he started making all those birdies, and that birdie on 16, really kind of gave me the cushion that I needed going in the last hole.
Well, what's it like for you guys, because Tiger's such a popular figure, and everywhere he goes, the gallery gets a little extra fired up for when he does well, and you're one of the other guys trying to beat him.
Well, it's actually fantastic when you don't have to play with him and deal with all the galleries. But no, he certainly brings a lot of people out to watch, and he's been fantastic for the game. But I was actually fortunate not to play with him on that Sunday, because I think things might have turned out differently. Maybe not so much in my favor because of his extraordinary ability to take other players off their game.
I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, you're playing the golf course, but you're also playing against an icon like that, or Mickelson, anybody else who's hot at that.
Yeah,
time.
I tell you what, the hardest thing about playing with Tiger is that you try not to you try not to watch him, but he's just so good that you just really you kind of get locked into just watching what he's doing. You watch his drive, you watch his short game, you just watch what he does, and it's hard not to, but you inevitably you do. You just start watching him, and sometimes you lose track of your own game.
Yeah, I was going to say, there has to be a point. I mean, you see it in baseball. There's some guys that are just gifted more than others, and you say, boy, what do they do to make themselves that good? But then you have to stay within yourself.
Absolutely. You have to do what you've done to get to that point in life, get to that point on the golf course or in baseball, and continue doing that and be as best as you can be, because unfortunately this other person who's got that much more talent than you has just that. They just have more talent than you, and you can try and outwork them, but still talent, I think, reigns supreme.
Another foul ball coming into the inning. Baker had thrown 44 strikes, 11 were put into play. There were 11 called strikes and 22 foul balls.
That's it. Bring your glove to the ballpark. You got a good chance to get a foul ball.
But as a result of all this is going to be his 70th pitch, and he's only retired 7 batters.
Now, when you're out on the course and there are fans lined up on the left and the right, how do you maintain your concentration?
It's actually a lot easier than you think, because I believe that you have more people out there. It actually brings the fairway. It narrows your focus down to the fairway a lot more. Instead, if you didn't have everybody out there and you just see the trees and the ponds and things like that, it really does narrow your focus down. It's actually quite amazing.
I remember I was watching a Bob Hope Classic, and I think George Brett was one of the celebrities in his Pro-Am. And he just went and he just nailed a group of people. I mean, it was a line drive right into it. And all you heard him on the mic saying, I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to do that. And I watch you guys, with the fairways just packed. And
that's a fly ball hit to left. Span glides back to make the catch. Swisher was off with the pitch. He retouched second and got back to first, 2 away.
But you guys, your concentration is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, and basically, I would assume it's a lot like baseball. You have 60,000 people out there screaming and hollering.
We don't see that.
Exactly. We don't see that. We don't see the fans on the golf course either. I mean, if you're that focused on what you're doing, you don't see or hear the fans. They just kind of become part of the scenery, part of the process of what we're doing out there.
I admire you guys because you guys are so good. You're the best in the world.
Well, thank you very much. After taking batting practice, I tell you guys have
the
greatest job in the world in baseball. I'm convinced of that thoroughly by now.
Coming up in August, and you can go online or call 1-800-PGA-GOLF if you'd like to watch the best in the world. Off-speed pitch over for strike 1 to Brett Gardner.
Now, where did you grow up?
I kind of grew up all over the place. My father worked for the military, so I grew up overseas for 7 years, but basically Las Cruces, New Mexico was my hometown. It's where my family's living now.
Did you start playing golf as a youngster?
Yeah, my dad actually worked for the government as a golf pro, believe it or not. Yeah, he was a civilian that just was contracted by the government to become a golf pro.
Wait a minute. We have government PGA pros?
Yes, sir.
Government golf pros?
Absolutely, yep, absolutely.
Wow.
I saw by your baseball swing you probably didn't play a lot of Little League.
I actually did. The funny thing was, you're gonna love this. I was actually a pitcher, and I threw it so slow that the outfielders just stand back next to the fence because the batters would hit it as hard as they could. They couldn't hit it far enough, so the outfielders just stand by the fence, catch the ball, and throw it back in.
Maybe that was my problem.
You're just throwing it too fast.
Too hard. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
1-2 to Gardner. Well, Rich, we want to wish you the best of luck in the PGA tournament held here in 5 weeks, I guess, in August. And Hazeltine, they probably cut the rough for the last time there, I would imagine.
It's they're growing it thick now. It's not growing up high, but they're trying to get the undergrowth to get as thick as they can, and then they'll top it off at about 3 inches, and then let us have at it, and it's going to be a bear. And it's going to be a beast.
What kind of clubs do you hit with?
Callaway.
Callaway.
Absolutely. Been with Callaway for about 11 years now. Fantastic company, and they've just treated me absolutely fantastic my entire career.
Well, Rich, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
We know that you've got a plane to catch. So
I do. I'm bummed out. I'm a huge baseball fan. I absolutely cannot get enough of this game. I love it. So best of luck to the Twins, and thanks again for having me.
Thank you.
Baker pitches a scoreless third, and our thanks to Rich Bean. Tonight's game, and you would think with Gomez, Punto, and Span, the three hitters here in the third inning, if they're ever going to bunt and try to get Sabathia rattled a little bit, it would be this inning. We'll see what happens.
Well, Rodriguez at third, Teixeira at first, already in a little bit in front of their bases, third and first.
Ground ball backhanded by Jeter. One away. Twins have just the one hit, the line drive home run off the bat of Cuddyer.
Unbelievable.
It's the Firestone leaderboard. Sabathia earlier in his career said he hated the Twins, and he's done very well against them over the years.
Yeah, over the last four starts for Sabathia against the Twins, he's 4-0 with a 1.24 ERA. And here at the Dome, over his last six starts, 5-1 with a 1.76 ERA. So yes, it's a ball club that he likes to punish at times.
A lot was made of his trade a year ago from the Indians to the Brewers, and the Indians got a bunch of prospects. He lost 2 games from this date to the end of the season for Milwaukee, and there wasn't a clinker in the bunch. I mean, he was outstanding and pretty much put the Brewers on his broad back and said, okay, we'll get you there. And he got them there.
Yep, 17 starts for the Brewers, a 1.65 ERA. And his record was 11-2.
And apparently that's all the Yankees needed to back a truck full of money up to his porch and say, here, take as much of this as you'd like. Somebody who pitched the Brewers into the playoffs, and now his task for the next 7 years will be to pitch the Yankees into the playoffs. And walking Nick Punto is not a good way to go about business. Punto drew a whole cluster full of walks in the Detroit series, so even though his batting average is .220 and climbing slowly, he's getting on base a lot. Span, the hitter. You can ask us a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. And tonight the question from Rochester, Minnesota. Paul Martinez wondering, do players get paid for making the All-Star team?
Players really do not get paid. Now, a lot of players have it in their contracts. If they make an All-Star game or appearance, then they get a bonus. That's about the only way.
Low to Span.
Major League Baseball pays for their flights and then some per diem, but other than getting a salary to play in the All-Star game, no, unless it's written in your contract.
And Morneau honored to go, and I think the reason they don't get paid because generally players want to go there on their own. I mean, without getting paid extra. Span takes a strike.
Well, it's an honor to go, and that's really why I think after that 7-7 tie ball game was in 2002, that baseball decided they needed to put something more into the All-Star game, and now it's the winning team, which has been the American League ever since that time, it counts now.
You see, and I still have a hard time swallowing that. I really do. Here's a little looper, Jeter with the catch, and no play with Punto getting back. Soft line drive for out number 2, and that'll bring up Harris.
Well, it really has not. I mean, it's made a difference, but it hasn't because it's been, 6 years at the All-Star game, and 3 World Series have been won by the American League and 3 by the National League. And the American League won all the All-Star games. So it's not to where, it's going to guarantee you a World Series win, but what it does, it helps Hank Blaylock feel good about himself that he allowed maybe the American League to, have home field advantage because of the home run he hit in an exhibition game.
Thank you. Here's Brendan Harris, hoping to break out of a slump here before the All-Star break. Pops it up. Might be playable for Teixeira. And Harris gone on 1 pitch. And we head to the 4th with the Yankees and Sabathia up by 2.
But he does have 4 strikeouts.
We're not going to spend this whole series reflecting on the 4 games in New York, but I do want to mention this. The Yankees have, the perception is they put it all together and they're really going good right now. They're 48-34, and the Twins just starting to make a move, perhaps 3 games above 500 for the first time. It was a 4-game series. And if the Twins had won 2 of them, and most people who watched the game felt they should have won 3 of them at least, if they had won 2 of those games, the team's record would be separated by a game and a half. The Yankees would be 46-36. The Twins would be 45-38.
Only if.
Yep, I know. There's a bouncer to third and a pass Creedy. And it's a base hit for the leadoff man, Cervelli. Takes a huge turn at first and holds up with a leadoff single. So the Yankees with their third leadoff hit and already 9 safeties against Scott Baker.
Well, Creedy playing a little bit even with the turf right there at third base. He dove for the ball, unable to get it.
And now the third time through the order with Jeter, who's singled and scored and hit a fly ball to right. Check swing. And ball 1.
Maybe so we don't get too deep into the ball game, like to say get well soon to Bertha Walters, Charlie Walters' mother. She's in the hospital recovering from some injuries. Charlie Walters, of course, writes for the St. Paul Pioneer Press and former Major League pitcher.
1969 for manager Billy Martin.
So Bertha, get well soon.
1-0 to Jeter. And now 2-0. Yankees, of course, trailing the Red Sox because they can't beat the Red Sox, or at least haven't. Twins are 0 for 4 against the Yankees. The Yankees are 0 for 8 against the Red Sox. And now 3-0 to Jeter. And Joe Girardi in his second year has to deal with the pressures of the East Coast, knowing full well what's happening on the West Coast, with the Dodgers putting together the best record in the major leagues, and the former Yankee manager is now managing the Dodgers. A walk after an opening base hit, and this does not look to be a good start to a tidy fourth inning for Baker.
First walk of the ball game for Scott Baker.
Aflac trivia question: who was the last American League first baseman to lead the league in runs batted in? Brian Dunsing warming up. Eddie Murray ever lead the league? And I don't want to go back that far if I don't have to, but I'm trying to think in between. Mauer to the mound, and Baker suddenly having a hard time throwing strikes. Teixeira on deck with a new bat. There's Morneau. Drove in what, 130 in his MVP year? $129 last year. 2-0.
Rick Anderson's going to jog out to the mound. A quick trip to the mound by pitching coach Rick Anderson. I said it at the get-go after that first inning, you want to establish something going into the ballgame, either a good fastball away or a good breaking ball or command of something in the strike zone. And Baker really has not been able to do that here tonight. You see Anderson right there flying open almost. They must stay back, keep that left shoulder in, get on top of that baseball. When I say get on top of the ball, I mean work out front. Sometimes you get lazy and your wrist leads with that baseball rather than the ball on your fingertips out front.
2-0 to Damon. Nobody out here in the Yankee fourth. A
lot of times it's concentration right here too. You're getting hit around a little bit. You walk somebody and all of a sudden you lose that focus. You lose the concentration. You need to get back to throwing the ball over the plate.
And a 4-pitch walk will fill the bases. And again, the ball 4 was a close pitch, but balls 2 and 3 were not.
Yeah.
And now this is going to be the end of the night for Scott Baker. First three batters in the fourth reach. Baker will exit. Dunsing will enter. Yankees, call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com.
Well, not the perfect position he'd like to come into as a reliever. Brian Dunsing coming out of the bullpen, making his second appearance since being recalled from Rochester. He worked on Friday night in that 16-inning marathon that I really am saddened that I missed.
Thought about you many times during that game.
But he worked 3 2/3 innings, gave up only one hit, and that was a home run to Gerald Laird.
Ball 1 to Teixeira, who's busted 2 bats, gotten 2 singles, driven in a run. It's just a 3-1 ball game, but a ticklish situation for Dunsing, facing the 3, 4, and 5 hitters here with the bases full. 1-1.
Teixeira, switch hitter, hitting .363 as a right-handed hitter. 4 of his 20 home runs coming from this side of the plate. He came into the game hitting only .241 as a left-handed hitter.
Infield back, except for Morneau, who's even with the bag at first. Little pop-up infield fly rule will be called, and Teixeira's retired. 1 down.
Good pitch right there, like a little cutter that got in on Teixeira, and he popped it straight up.
Just the 4th inning, but just imagining what could happen here if Dunsing can get Rodriguez to bounce into a double play. Could be a huge turnaround for the Twins as they try to mount an attack against Sabathia.
Yeah, it looked like a little cutter, but a little fastball inside. It kind of tied up Teixeira to create that pop-up. So a good pitch right there by Dunsing.
Rodriguez, a foul out and a strikeout. Fly ball to deep center field. A lot of carry on this one. What a sensational catch by Gomez! He took a grand slam away from Alex Rodriguez. A perfectly timed leap for out number 2.
Alex Rodriguez so strong as they're going to show this back, and the crowd just erupts here at the Dome. He goes back against the wall, leaps up over the wall, and brings it back. What a great catch right there.
That was such a towering, deep fly ball. Gomez had time to get back to the wall, leap over it, So a run does score, but 3 don't. And here's Matsui. An RBI single in the first. So far, Rodriguez has come to the plate 3 times in this series with a total of 7 men on base. That is going to have to change, because at some point he will hit one a foot farther and bust a game wide open.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not in this series. But he's the only Yankee so far without a hit. He did pick up an RBI there, his 44th of the year.
1-0 to Matsui. The Home Depot doing more on defense.
Gomez going back. He knows where he's at. Leaps right against the wall, makes a great catch.
And for the time being, at least, keeps the Twins in this game. 4-1. First and third, 2 down. And 2-0 to Matsui. Swing and a foul. Dunsing, as you said, put in a tough spot, bases loaded, and he's one good pitch away from getting out of this mess with not much damage being done. And now 2-2.
Yeah, if he can get this guy out right here, that'll be a great performance by Dunsing, getting the Twins out of a bases loaded, no out situation. Keep the damage to a minimum.
Jeter at third, across the way, Damon.
Matsui so still at the plate.
Low, 3-2 with Swisher on deck. Twins have been out hit 9-1. Yankees have scored in every inning but one, but right now it's just a 3-run lead. Runner goes and it's ball 4, and they're reloaded for Swisher. Swisher came up with 2 on in the first inning and struck out for the 3rd out. He delivered a 1-out single in the 3rd. Swisher's been used in the outfield. He's been used at first base as a designated hitter for the Yankees.
Hey, here's a good pickup for them. Came over from the Chicago White Sox. Brings a lot of character to that clubhouse. Sometimes a very quiet clubhouse that the Yankees have.
And Dunsing needs to throw a strike.
Only 2 switch hitters in the lineup, Teixeira and Nick Swisher. Swisher hitting .237 as a right-handed hitter. 3 of his 14 home runs coming from this side of the plate.
2-0. Baker walked back-to-back batters earlier this inning. Matsui, the 3rd walk of the inning. Three and 0. Down the middle, 3-1.
And he's going to have to come right back almost with the same pitch.
Swisher strikes out a lot, but he walks a lot too. On pace to draw 100 walks this year. So you got to throw it over the plate. And he misses wide and walks in a run. So now it's 5-1, and with every run that scores here, the impact of Gomez's home run robbing catch is diminished. 4 walks in the inning. The only hit of the inning, the leadoff single by Cervelli.
All 5 runs charged to Baker right now. He's still responsible for Johnny Damon at third base.
Cano doubled and scored in the second, hit a fly ball to left in the third. Strike 1. And that should change everything for Dunsing, I would think. Be able to deliver strike 1 on the first pitch. Of course, those guys know that the Yankee pitcher tonight is the Yankee ace, who's already been handed a 4-run lead. 2 strikes. Sabathia's had a lot of downtime. Yankees have been hitting for a long time here tonight. Inside. Twins pitchers Baker and Dunsing have already thrown 104 pitches tonight.
Baker threw 89 of those 104.
One and 2. And Mauer digs it out. And now the count's even. And a long night for everybody in the Twins dugout. 2-2. And a foul.
One good pitch away from getting out of this mess.
And Cano flips another one foul. Twins enter the game with a major league low 223 walks issued. But there have been 4 issued in this inning alone. And it's tough when this is, well, not so much in the third inning, but this is the third inning out of 4 where the guys have been standing around an awful lot in the field. Dunsing will try it again on 2-2. A snap bat and a bouncer to Morneau. Dunsing covers and the inning ends. 2 more runs for the Yankees, but it could have been much worse, except for the home run robbing catch by Carlos Gomez in center. Hadn't been out there on the mound very much here tonight. Time to remind you that CC Sabathia is pitching for the New York Yankees. 1 strike.
Hey, happy birthday to Dan Gladden and John Gordon. How about that, huh?
There's Gordo busy at work, eating his birthday cake.
This is Dan's innings here in the middle innings, so John gets to sit back and enjoy his birthday cake. So happy birthday to those two.
2 strikes to Mauer. I at least had the good sense to be born on a different day than you.
Yeah, thank God. 273 more days until my birthday, and I'm going to enjoy this cake right here. Did you get some?
I have some right here. 2 strikes. Mauer, Morneau, and Kadire facing Sabathia. Outside a ball. Mauer with a bouncer to short his first time up. Morneau bounced to short. Kadire hit a home run. That's been the only Twins hit so far. And the Twins, who ideally would have loved to have run up Sabathia's pitch count by now, of course, have seen just the opposite happen. Scott Baker leaving early, in part because of a high pitch count. Breaking ball wide, and it's 2-2. I don't know that Sabathia's been able to get into a rhythm with the quick innings and the long sit-downs in the dugout, but he's thrown 43 pitches and only 25 strikes.
Yeah, you don't mind that your team scores you some runs early because, you know, the game's going to settle down here, and hopefully it will for the Twins side, and hopefully the Twins can start picking away and getting some hits. But Sabathia picks up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game, getting Mauer to chase that breaking ball away.
Our Aflac trivia question answer. I'm just going to go back to Eddie Murray of the Baltimore Orioles.
Boog Powell. Come on, Booger.
A fellow Oriole?
Yeah.
All right. Might be Teixeira. Never know.
Aflac.
Carlos Delgado with the Blue Jays in 2003.
That's a lot of RBI.
What division are the Blue Jays in? The American League East. Same division as the Orioles. There's a connection there. Not a good one, but there's a connection there.
Hey, they were all first basemen, too.
That's true. That's true. 1 strike to Morneau. American League Player of the Week last week. And then this week starts with maybe the toughest left-hander in the league. If you were to rank toughest lefties, toughest righties, Sabathia certainly would be on anybody's list from the left side. Roy Halladay would be on anybody's list from the right side. And the Blue Jays general manager made some interesting news today, saying that the Blue Jays would entertain offers for Roy Halladay, who is under contract for a lot of money through next year. He says, we're not shopping him, but if somebody wants to call, we'll listen. I suspect he'll get some calls.
What will the Blue Jays want, and what will they need?
Well, I think they need a catcher. They've not had a consistent catcher behind the plate. Morneau fouls it back. They would want good players who would be under their control for a while. I mean, the Blue Jays are still in contention. That's what made the statement by J.P. Ricciardi so alarming, and probably a lot more was made of it than should have. The Blue Jays just had a 4-game series with the Yankees. Morneau pops it up to Cano. 2 down. Twins players wore baseball caps featuring the various branches of the military on Sunday for Armed Services Appreciation Day. You've got a chance to own one of those game-worn caps. They're currently being auctioned at twinsbaseball.com. Proceeds from the cap auction benefit 2 local groups assisting military families. Again, the auction is exclusive to twinsbaseball.com. We can also get tickets for games on this homestand. 2 down, and here's Kadire. Driven hard to center, and Gardner's back to make the catch on the line drive. 3 up, 3 down. We'll talk with Twins starter and finisher in Sunday's game, Nick Blackburn, when we come back.
Someone trying to ruin it in front of them. This is your 30th birthday, and this is your the way you spend it here by being circled by Bert. Congratulations. How excited are you?
I'm so excited to be here, and we're enjoying our 30th anniversary so much, and thank you so much for choosing us.
And if I said 30th birthday, I apologize. 30th anniversary, there it is. You have $100 in Minnesota State Lottery scratch-off tickets. Guys?
Well, happy 30th anniversary to those two lovebirds. Very nice.
Thank you, Robbie. The leadoff hitter here in the Yankee fifth is Brett Gardner. Brian Dunsing starting his first inning of work. Nick Blackburn started 9 of them, finished 9 of them, and he's nice enough to take some time off during this game to join us down by the Twins dugout. Nick, we had a chance to interview you after the game, and congratulations again on just a wonderful, important victory for the Twins on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you. That was a big game. I was happy to see us take that series when we needed to, and especially after that first game, we went 16 innings, lost kind of a tough game. It was good to come back and get those next 2.
Hey, Nick, you've had a lot of success here at home. I have you at 4-0, very good 2.32 ERA and 7 home starts. Anything different about pitching here at home? Is it the mound, maybe the atmosphere, and sometimes maybe on the road?
Yeah, maybe a little both. I think I'm just more comfortable here. Obviously, I get to throw a lot more often here. I do like this mound, though. It's got pretty good height. I like the fact that there's kind of a tall backstop back there. Not too much going on behind the catcher.
Line drive to Punto and 2 quick outs for Dunsing here in the fifth.
But it seems like here in the Dome, the catcher's right there in front of you, not too far away. You go some places and it seems like the catcher's about 200 feet. So it's nice here. I definitely like throwing in this Dome.
Nick, one thing about Scott Baker here tonight, I didn't really see him make an adjustment. That's one thing I have seen you do. Is that something that you kind of look at in my first couple innings? What kind of stuff do I have, and then how do I make my adjustment to the stuff I have that night?
Yeah, and it's something I haven't been able to do before this season. I don't think. I think this year that's partly why I'm throwing pretty well right now, is because I am able to make some adjustments in the game. And it's just kind of, some days I don't feel my best and I don't have my sinker or whatever, but we're able to still get some off-balance swings using more off-speed. And usually when things are going pretty well with my sinker, we don't have to go to curveballs or change-ups too often. And the case lately has just been I've been able to keep that pitch down.
How nice as it has been the last 3 starts. Well, that one you lost in Milwaukee, but those complete games, you get an opportunity to shake everybody's hand out on the field. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a great feeling, that's your goal each night you go out and pitch, and it's just good to be out there when the game's over.
2-2 to Jeter.
Somebody giving you a tough time down there?
Slowly. Never stops like that.
We've got good news on Kevin Slowey. They just gave him a cortisone shot, and they figure that he'll be ready to go when he comes off the disabled list. 2-2 to Jeter. That punch to right field. Long run for Kadire, but he gets there. Nick, thank you for the time, and again, keep it rolling. One more start before the break.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right,
go hit Kevin for me.
All right.
Opening game of 3. Night game tomorrow, day game Thursday. Then the White Sox come to town. And the Yankees knocking out Scott Baker early. Here's Joe Creedy to start the bottom of the 5th. Up and away, ball 1. It's hard, I would imagine, to put together a series of good at-bats when you're having top halves of innings like the Twins have had. Now, Dunsing had a pretty quick top of the 5th inning here. 3 up, 3 down. We'll see if the Twins have some better at-bats here in the bottom of the 5th with Creedy, Young, and Gomez facing Sabathia. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Creedy with a pop to second, his first time up. A little pop up left side, and Jeter camps under it. 1 down.
Now Sabathia doing a good job as far as pitch count. 53 pitches here with 1 out in the 5th inning. Sabathia making his 272nd Major League start. He has 124 Major League wins, 78 losses, and a career ERA at 3.67.
Here's Young, who struck out swinging against Sabathia to wrap up the 2nd inning. High and tight.
First at bat, basically everything away to Delmon Young, so he starts him off with a fastball up and in. Cervelli, the catcher, now sitting down and away.
I would imagine to be as successful as Sabathia is, as successful as you were, one of the keys to success is to have a good memory. You're facing these 9 batters in order, but now the second time you remember what you did the first time you faced them to get them out, changing it up enough to get them out the second time, coming back to get them a 3rd time, hopefully a 4th time if you need to. But you know, in addition to the physical skills, having the mental makeup to keep a little Rolodex going in your head while the game's going on.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, again, every inning is different for a starting pitcher. You can go out there and hit your spots all of a sudden, like Baker did in the 4th inning, all of a sudden you lose it. But you also always go back to what he did right there. Control of the fastball. Fastball is the key to any pitcher. You have to be able to hit a certain spot. And that's normally for Sabathia a good fastball away, a good fastball in. When he gets ahead in the count, then he's going to maybe try the breaking ball or the changeup. But there again, you get ahead in the count by the fastball.
Oh,
watch out.
A rocket over the Yankee on deck circle. And a woman got hit in the, at least one of them got hit in the wrist.
Well, hopefully she's all right.
2-2. They came inside early in this at bat to Young, and now just tried to zip fastballs over the outside corner. And they go back out there again. And a little roller up the middle. Cano. Young beat it out. Cano looked like he had a hard time getting a grip of the ball, and Young will come back to first base.
Well, good hustle right there by Delmon Young. The ball not hit sharply right there. And Cano ends up making a pretty good play on this, but Young just beat it out. Watch this ball just kind of right off the end of the bat. Cano feels it, gets a good hop, has a little trouble getting it out, but good hustle right there by Young, getting down that first baseline. Well, the Twins get their 2nd hit of the ball game off of Sabathia.
Gomez bounced out on the first pitch, leading off the 3rd inning. Fastball down the middle. Young was heading back to first as Sabathia delivered strike 1 to Gomez. Outside. Ron Gardenhire talked about it. I've talked about it. Why? What is there about Sabathia that makes him such an intimidating presence that hitters would not bunt against him?
Well, I think the game right now dictates that, Gomez isn't going to really try to bunt. You have the third basemen that, kind of take that away. Gomez would like to maybe get a pitch up like that and not miss it, maybe get an extra base hit.
But if the idea is to rattle a pitcher, you've got guys, look, in the third inning, it was Gomez, Punto, and Span, and none of them bunted to try to get under his skin a little bit.
Well, you want to rattle the pitcher, but if that third baseman, Rodriguez, who's now playing back with 2 strikes on Gomez, if he's in, it almost is going to take a perfect bunt to get, on first base. So you want to do what's best for you at the time.
1-2 to Gomez. It just seemed like last year at this point, and about this time last year, Gomez's position in the batting order changed from leadoff to ninth, but it seemed like every other game he'd either get a bunt hit or at least try one.
But again, a lot of the defensive players didn't know Gomez. Now they've taken a bunt away from him.
2-2.
So it's just a defense adjusting to Carlos Gomez and Span and other guys that could bunt. Of course, the Twins not bunting as successfully as they did last year.
Two and two. And a little dribbler in front of Rodriguez. He fires on the run, makes a fine play to get Gomez at first. 2 away. And that'll bring up Punto. Friday night, the Twins open up a 3-game set against the White Sox, and you can start preparing for outdoor.
What is that, a fly?
An outdoor baseball with Twins sunglasses. The first 10,000 fans will get the sunglasses, not the announcer.
Cool.
Courtesy of Graph Optical. You can get your tickets by calling 833-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com.
Get the kids in bed.
Here's Punto trying to get Young in with a 2-out hit here in the 5th. Fastball away.
This is where you'd like one of those hits that the Yankees got off of Baker in the first 3 innings. Just a little dying quail over the infield. Twins would like to get the Young in to score right here. A little 2-out hitting by Nick Punto.
1-0. And flip foul over the Yankee dugout. Punto, switch hitter, figures to play most, if not every game before the All-Star break, and will be splitting his at-bats evenly, right-handed, left-handed, because the Twins are facing a left-hander tonight, a right-hander tomorrow night, a right-hander Thursday afternoon. At least that's the way it looks for the Yankees, and 2 lefties in the Chicago series, John Danks and Mark Burley. 1-1 to Punto. Takes a strike on the outside corner.
What a good pitch right there. Fastball down and away. That puts Punto in a hole.
This is the first Twins plate appearance with a man in scoring position tonight. One and 2 to the Twins second baseman. Ground ball hit right at Teixeira. He'll go to the bag and end the inning. Young gets an infield hit, just the second Twins hit tonight against Sabathia. Yankees leading 5-1. Johnny Damon will lead things off in the 6th. One strike. Damon, Teixeira, and Rodriguez. Facing Brian Dunsing, who came into a real mess in the 4th inning. Nearly gave up a grand slam. Gomez saved that. Did walk in a run. But then had a nice tidy 1-2-3 5th, and now we'll go after the Yankees here in the 6th.
Yeah, Dunsing, 26 years old, his first major league action so far this year. He made the club out of spring training and then sent back down to Rochester. Recalled when the Twins sent Sean Henn. They outrighted him to Rochester back on July 2nd.
Henn, by the way, I don't think we talked about it over the weekend. He accepted his assignment, so he'll get to Rochester, and there's a call, third strike. Damon called out on strikes for the 2nd time tonight.
For a second, I thought Jeff Kellogg was not going to call that. Watch this breaking ball right here. Joe Mauer kind of holds it for a second, and right there, it took a little bit of time for Kellogg to call strike 3. So Dunsing picks up his first strikeout.
And now Teixeira. Teixeira with a pair of singles and a pop-up. He's now gone 87 at bats without a home run. Out in front, 2 strikes. Tigers beat the Royals 8-5, so the Twins have dropped a half game to the Tigers. The half game that they picked up yesterday, they've lost. And are 2 games behind Detroit now. White Sox are leading the Indians 6-3 in the 7th. Good to see. I think you'd agree. Good to see that the Indians have announced that Eric Wedge's job is safe for this year, and the coaches, including Carl Willis. And past Harris, and Teixeira picks up his 3rd single, just poking it through the middle of the infield. And that'll bring up Rodriguez.
Idea of pitching is to keep their hitter off balance, and a couple times in this ball game, I think Baker did it in his first at bat. Teixeira just hit a weak little fly ball to center field for a base hit, and right there, Dunsing pulled the string, but Teixeira enough to get it through the draw or to the infield for his 3rd hit.
Here's Rodriguez, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Hit the towering fly ball, headed over the center field fence, intercepted by Gomez as he reached over the fence. Strike on the inside corner. For those of us who like the All-Star game, who just enjoy watching it, think it's a fabulous event, and I think I can speak for a lot of fans, not all of them certainly, it's a relief that neither Rodriguez nor Manny Ramirez will be there because of the cloud of controversy. Can't even say suspicion. They both admitted steroid use. But the event will be held without the sidebars, the side stories that Rodriguez would inevitably bring. Same with Ramirez. Down and in. So if you want to say it's going to be in St. Louis, just a nice night of good, clean fun, we'll let you. Because as far as we know,
as far as
we know, the named guilty players will not be there. 3-1. Yankees out hitting the Twins 10-2. And now Rodriguez draws a walk. 3rd walk issued by Dunsing. 1st and 2nd. One away activity in the Twins' pen. Baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head for one spectacular night. In the summer's biggest event, Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, live from St. Louis at 7 p.m. only on Fox. And again, we'll mention it in passing, Justin Morneau has decided not to participate in the home run hitting contest. R.A. Dickey warming up in the Twins pen. And Matsui fouls it off himself. 1 strike. Be the first All-Star game in St. Louis since the one they held in 1966. And talked this morning with Harmon Killebrew about a number of things, including that 66 All-Star game and how oppressively hot it was at Busch Stadium. And of course, it's entirely possible they'll have equally as hot of temperatures there for the All-Star game a week from tonight.
Well, I think back in '66, did they not have turf?
Yes, it was time? Right, and Harmon mentioned that it was the first time many of them had experienced that type of reflective heat off the. Here's another deep drive to center. Let's see what Gomez can do with this one. Right at the fence, he makes the catch. Runners have to re-tag, and they both reach safely. So Matsui nearly hit one out. Gomez this time didn't have to reach over the wall.
Boy, almost the same spot that Rodriguez hit his high fly ball. Matsui takes Gomez right against the wall. Quick look, picked up the ball, and made a nice catch and got the ball back in quickly. Teixeira, who had gone halfway, had to get back to second.
So 2 on, 2 out, and that'll bring up Nick Swisher. Swisher walked with the bases loaded. Anyway, Harmon was talking about how hot it was, and he said Brooks Robinson had to play the whole game at third base. And then I double-checked, and Tony Oliva said, yes, he had to play the whole game out there too, but Tony had to play in center field in the All-Star game because Al Kaline had a right. So Tony, who hadn't played center field before, had to play all however many innings there were. I think it was an extra inning game in center field. 1-0, Dunsing to Swisher. Two and 0. Been a long night for Ron Gardenhire, Rick Anderson. There's a pitch missing, and it's 3-0. Anderson wondering, I'm sure, how many pitchers he's going to have to use to get through this game. And a walk. Swisher walks for the second time, and the bases are loaded again with 2 outs. And Robinson Cano, the hitter.
And Rick Anderson's going to come out and talk to his left-hander. As R.A. Dickey looks like he's ready to go if needed.
Earlier this year, the Twins 3 times sent Dickey into a situation like this, similar to the situation they brought Dunsing into with the bases loaded. But I think ideally they'd like to give Dunsing one more batter here, see if he can get out of this and let Dickey start the 7th.
Well, unusual bat control for Dunsing because his minor league numbers really shows that he's got pretty good control. Down in Rochester, only 19 walks, 2 intentional in 75 1/3 innings.
You look at his outing, and sure, the 4 walks are excessive. He's only given up 1 hit, and that was Teixeira's lunging ground ball up the middle. But here are the Twins still in the game, down 4, but the Yankees, it seems like every other at bat, are coming up with the bases loaded. Cano takes ball 1.
Dunsing was able to retire Cano to end the 4th inning with bases loaded.
Snap bat, and it'll drop for a hit. It's about the 5th broken bat hit the Yankees have had tonight. A couple runs will score, and Dunsing ends up paying for his control issues.
Well, he left the fastball up right there. Cano breaking his bat, picking up a couple RBIs. Now with 45 on the year, his 2nd hit of the ball game, and now it's a 7-1 Yankee lead.
And that'll be the end of the night for Brian Dunsing. So the Yankees add a couple more at least here in the 6th, and R.A. Dickey will pitch next.
Dickey worked that final 3 innings in that 16-inning loss to the Tigers here on Friday night.
2 in, 2 on, 2 out. And Gardner takes ball 1. Gardner singled and scored in the 2nd. Since then, a strikeout and a foul out. Knuckler wobbles over, 1-1. That's hit deep to right center field. Gomez slides but comes up short. A couple of runs are going to score, and Gardner, who's already hit 1 inside the park home run against the Twins, slams on the brakes at 3rd. Gomez nearly made a remarkable catch, and it looked like that ball was going to drop easily, and he nearly caught up to it.
And that ball kind of hit right in the middle of Gomez, that knuckleball right there. And Gomez almost a nice catch. Kadire has to retrieve it after Gomez's sliding attempt comes up a little short. For Gardner, his 5th triple of the year, picking up a couple RBIs.
So 4 runs in the inning, all charged to Brian Dunsing, and here's Cervelli. Over for strike 1. Two strikes. Boy, Gardner certainly has made quite an impression, I think, on the Twins. He's so far out of the recent Yankee mold. This is a guy who can hit and run. I don't mean hit and run, but I mean he can hit and make you pay for it on the base pass. 2 strikes to Cervelli.
He's kind of a young version of Johnny Damon when Damon first came up to the big leagues. Not going to hit a lot of power, but boy, he can create a lot of havoc on the base paths. And when he is able to hit a triple like he did, you can watch him fly from home to third.
That's hit well to the left field corner. And off the wall. Cervelli runs to second with an RBI double. And the Yankees have a couple of extra base hits against R.A. Dickey.
Well, Cervelli getting a chance to get some playing time here tonight and making the most out of it. Picking up his second RBI on his second hit of the ball game. And picking up his third double of the year. Knuckler just kind of hung right there. Cervelli hitting it down that left field corner. Span playing the big hop right there and getting it back in. But 13 hits for the Yankees here with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Inside, ball 1 to Jeter. A single and a run scored in the first. A walk and a run scored in the 4th. And in the clutch too. Yankees starting a road trip here this week. Or this in this game. 3 games here, then 3 in Anaheim before the All-Star break. One and one to Jeter. 2-1. Two and two. Dickey, the third pitcher. And the Yankees have jumped on both the starting pitcher Baker and the relief pitcher Dunsing. Got him looking. The knuckler wobbled over for strike 3. 4, make that 5 runs in for the Yankees in the 6th. Somebody robbing the other guys of a grand slam.
Hey, you know what? The Yankees have 13 hits. They don't have a home run yet. What the heck? At least we have a home run.
That's right.
Yeah, Kadire.
And Denard Span will lead things off against CC Sabathia. White Sox keep piling it on the beleaguered Cleveland bullpen. It's now 10-3. Detroit's already won. Looks like the White Sox are going to win. Looks like the Twins are going to lose. Strike one to Span. Hit the ball hard as last time up, lining to Jeter. Breaking ball over for a strike.
Well, Sabathia was 70 pitches in a ball game. 45 have been strikes. He has 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He's allowed only 2 hits.
Fouled back. Sabathia has been from the other side impressive to watch. The way he's handled not just the Twins but most teams, not effortlessly but efficiently throwing strikes. 2 of them quickly to Span here, and that's lifted foul. The one thing that will have to change if he does in fact pitch the Yankees into the postseason, he'll have to pitch better than he has. As great as he was last year, he had another disappointing postseason. 1 start, 3 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs. In postseason play, he's 2-3 with an ERA of just under 8. Span cracks his bat. There's nobody at first, and Span will win the foot race. So a leadoff single here in the 6th, with Span getting a broken bat hit.
Well, that was a little mistake right there by Sabathia. He kind of hung around the mound a little bit too long. Teixeira, you can see him right there by the time he takes off. Span just outruns Sabathia to the bag.
So now Harris, who if he does nothing else tonight would like to pick up a solid base hit to forget about what's happened so far in this homestand. And he takes a strike on the inside corner.
Well, every player goes through little slumps here and there, and all Harris needs is one of Mark Teixeira's type of hits here tonight.
Right.
Something off the end of the bat, maybe finding a hole somewhere.
Targets inside again, and Sabathia comes inside and high. Foul that go up into our photographer's deck. Everybody all right up there?
Ah, miss mark. Darn it.
One and 2 to Harris. And now 2 and 2. Good crowd on hand here at the Dome, but unfortunately it's all been Yankees so far. And Harris takes outside, 3 and 2.
Well, Jerry White going to talk to Denard Span, but I don't think Denard's going anywhere right here on a 3-2 pitch.
Foul back. That's hit hard to center. Gardner retreats and makes the catch. One away. Quest Twins Live is going on the road to celebrate family fun at the Wisconsin Dells, July 17th through the 19th. Join Anthony, Ron, Marnie, and the Quest Twins Live crew for your chance to be on TV, win prizes, and more. You've got 10 days to book your trip, so log on to WisconsinDells.com
Is that Jim Collinsworth
for
going
more info.
Oh, look at that. Look at Anthony. Somebody had to be a rope pulling him. There's no way you can do that.
Here's Mauer. 0 for 3. Bouncer to short and a strikeout. Fouled away.
I wonder how Anthony kept his hairpiece on.
Velcro. Mauer will start his second straight All-Star game next Tuesday. High and fairly deep to left. Damon near the edge of the track makes the catch. Out number 2. Time for the Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest high-speed internet.
Well, both starters right at 93 miles an hour. And that's kind of on the low side for Sabathia, only because, he's had a little bit of arm problems. About 3 starts ago, he left the ball game with some irritation in that left arm, but then he came back and pitched an outstanding game against the Mets. Got beat up in his last start against the Mariners, and he's usually a guy, that can get that ball 95, 96 miles an hour.
Here's Morneau. Breaking ball that catches the corner.
That's a nasty breaking ball, too, to a left-hander. Another breaking ball.
And a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Both those breaking balls in outstanding location. Fastball away for strike, a breaking ball, slider. That one a little bit harder that Justin swung through. And he's going to go back to that slider again.
And Morneau taps it into play. Cano flips to first. The inning ends. The Twins are done in the 6th. On to the 7th, down 10-1.
On the Twin side, Michael Kadire with his 13th home run, a solo home run in the second. That made it 3-1. But since that time, CC Sabathia and the offense of the Yankees have made it a 10-1 ball game.
Melky Cabrera is going to hit for Johnny Damon here in the 7th inning. And Dickey starts him with a strike.
Cabrera, switch hitter, is a left-handed hitter, hitting .280 overall, hitting .279 as a right-hander. So having an even year from both sides of the plate.
And another example perhaps tonight of Dickey having much better success when he starts an inning rather than comes into a situation with men on base. 1-2. Cabrera got a big hit for the Yankees against the Twins in the series opener in New York, the game-winning hit that dropped between Span and Gomez in left center field against Joe Nathan. And whether that set a tone for what was to follow or not, it was a big walk-off hit for the Yankees, and they added 2 more and then finished the Twins off in a 4-game sweep.
Yeah, Yankees won that first game 5-4. Then they won the next one 6-4, and then 2 of them were extra innings.
Right.
Game 2 and 3 extra innings, 6-4, 3-2, and then that final game, it was 7-6.
To short center, and Harris gloves it, 1 away, and that'll bring up Teixeira. Teixeira with 3 hits, and he hasn't hit any of the 3 hard. Ball 1.
Teixeira making the All-Star team for the Yankees, his 2nd All-Star appearance. His other one coming when he was with the Texas Rangers back in 2005.
Of course, it was about a year ago when he was traded in the middle of the season to the Angels. And the Angels made a run, a futile run, to retain his services. Yankees backed another truckload of money up to his front porch. Two and two.
Yeah, payroll with over $200 million.
Another one hit to center, and Gomez goes back, slips a little bit at the end, but he makes the catch. Looks like he spun his wheels on the rubber warning track, and so the Yankees expected to get into postseason play, but they did go 2-4 against Florida and Washington, the 2 teams with the worst, 2 lowest of payrolls. On Saturday night, the Twins Hall of Fame grows by 2 new members, Brad Radke and George Brophy, longtime scout and farm director for the Minnesota Twins. And you can be part of the history by coming out to the Dome. Twins and White Sox, that's an attraction in and of itself at 6:10. And then prior to the game, Radke and Brophy will take their spot in the Twins Hall. Fisher Nuts is the proud sponsor of the Twins Hall of Fame. 5,000 commemorative pins. So call 833 Twins. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Rodriguez walked, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Could have been a grand slam, except for the great catch by Gomez. And he gets a base hit up the middle.
Well, that base hit up the middle right there just means that all 9 starters for the Yankees have at least 1 hit. 14 hits overall for the Yankees.
And the Yankees, or the White Sox rather, riding Paul Konerko's 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in, have a lead in the top of the 8th. Outside a ball. Indians sending 3 left-handers out against the White Sox, I think, in that series. Jeremy Sowers tonight. Aaron Laffey is in there somehow or somewhere in the 3-game series. 1-1 to Matsui. Gets by Mauer, and it will advance Rodriguez to second base.
It should be a wild pitch charge to R.A. Dickey. That's his 3rd wild pitch of the year. And they do give him a wild pitch.
And that sails wide, 3-1. And now Matsui walks. Well, nothing new to be learned here. Ron Gardenhire didn't have to tell his team, look, this is a pretty good Yankee lineup. We just can't afford to be issuing walks, and it's uncharacteristic for the Twins to do that. But the 14 hits in combination with what? 7 walks, yep. And you're just not going to beat the Yankees that way.
Well, Yankees have a veteran ball club. They have a lot of patience at the plate. They make, pitchers throw a lot of pitches by fouling off pitches. It's always been kind of the Yankee way, starting back with Bernie Williams.
Swisher with a big swing and a miss. First 2 outs came pretty quickly. Now a single and a walk. And strike 2 to Swisher. Oh, 2 to the Yankee right fielder. Ducks away, and it almost hit the corner.
Swisher, one of those hitters, likes to get right on top of that plate. Dickey trying to get that 2-seam fastball working in and then back over the corner. See where Swisher is. Arms almost over the plate.
Swisher got something in his eyes, backed away. Two and 2. The pitch that must have been high. And Dickey strikes out Swisher and pitches a scoreless 7th inning.
Man of the game. There you go, young man. You are hereby circled. Hey, I want to thank Roy Smalley for doing the 2 games while I was gone. Roy, thank you very much. Great job.
Hey, you were just taking a little R&R, right?
Yes.
A little vacation.
Yep.
Michael Kadire will lead off the 7th against Sabathia, who has thrown 84 pitches through 6 innings. Kadire with the home run that got the Twins on the board. He also hit a line drive in the 4th. Cody Ransom in for Jeter at short. Cabrera stays in the game and takes over for Damon and left.
Yeah, Kadire's had the best 2 at bats so far against Sabathia, the home run and then the line drive. And right here, a little pop up that Mark Teixeira is going to take for the first out.
1 down.
Oh, no surprise. You can see CC Sabathia, his first 10 starts here at the Metrodome. He struggled a little bit, but as I mentioned before, over his last 6 starts, 5-1. Look at the 1.76 earned run average here at the Metrodome.
Here's Joe Crady. Just under 30,000 here, 29,540 the paid attendance. A few years ago when the Indians got to the playoffs and nearly got to the World Series, Sabathia and Fausto Carmona made the ultimate statement against the defending division champs Minnesota Twins inside. On alternate games, one or the other was always matched up against Johan Santana. Twins won the division. Santana won the Cy Young Award 2006. And Santana made 6 starts against the Indians that year, either against Sabathia or Carmona. And Santana that year against Cleveland was 0-5. And the Twins didn't give Santana a lot of run support in those games, but in those games you expected to be pitchers' duels anyway. It was Sabathia or Carmona who outpitched Santana in 5 of those 6 games. And within the division, when you're trying to beat the champions, when you can beat their number 1 guy, as Santana was for the Twins, that goes a long way toward getting into postseason play. 2-2 to Credy. And Credy just fighting to stay alive with that pitch.
Yeah, I mentioned before, Sabathia last year beat Baker 1-0 through a 5-hit shutout against the Twins. And then in 2007 beat Santana 3 times, 5-0, 4-3, and 5-2. 2 here in Minnesota, 1 in Cleveland.
Credy with another foul.
Jose Morales looks like he's going to maybe take over for Joe Mauer behind the plate as he's loosening up.
Night game tomorrow, day game on Thursday. Credy drops the head of the bat and hits a liner to left, and Cabrera makes a nice running catch out number 2. Pretty well hit ball for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, kind of dropped that slider right into where Credy was swinging, and Credy hit it sharply, but Cabrera just ran it down.
Going to bring up Delman Young, who got an infield hit his last time up. Young got as far as second base. The Twins have the 2 hits, the home run, the infield hit. Punto drew a walk. Span got an infield hit. And that's been it. This guy's been in control all night long. 1 strike.
He's doing a good job of getting strike 1. 18 of 25 batters, he's been able to get strike 1, CC Sabathia.
White Sox have scored another run. 10-6, they have the lead. It's been odd this year. The White Sox have not been able to hit well in their home ballpark. That's not the case tonight. They've got 10 runs on the board. And Young lifts it foul over by the Yankee dugout that's been awfully quiet all night long. Twins hope to get into the Yankee bullpen eventually, and it's been a pretty good bullpen. Phil Cope from the left side. Of course, Mariano Rivera. Phil Hughes from the right side have been awfully tough as of late. There's Rivera, who a little while ago got his 500th career save. And another foul over New York's dugout. Might have hurt her hands, but she's got a souvenir. 1-2. Toward the hole. Ransom gets in front of it nicely, throws low, and Teixeira flashes the backhand. And Sabathia, the strength of 100 pitches, has completed 7 innings. Pretty good.
Morales going to take over for Joe Mauer behind the plate.
Robinson Cano to lead off the 8th inning against R.A. Dickey. It'll be Cano, Gardner, and Cervelli. First pitch, foul over the net. Dickey gave up a run in the 6th. Gave up a triple and a double to the first 2 batters he faced. Gave up a hit and a walk, but pitched a scoreless 7th. Morales couldn't catch it cleanly, and it caught Jeff Kellogg in the collarbone. One and two. Brett Tomko, veteran right-hander, might be asked to finish the game for New York. And Morales can't catch another one. Not an easy task back there. You're given few opportunities to even practice catching in the Knuckler.
You see the big glove right there. That still doesn't help at times.
It's TC's glove. 2-2 to Robinson Cano. And now 3-2. There you go. That's what catchers need. The glove that TC uses on the left side when he's out there playing. Sharp ground ball, backhanded by Punto. We have a mascot game coming up, I think, on Sunday. Here, that's always fun. TC will get a chance to actually play some ball against his fellow mascots.
He always outshines him.
Yes, it is. Two kid favorite elements in one game. The first 5,000 fans 14 and under will get a Twins growth chart courtesy of Clemens. And then just before the game, the annual mascot softball game will be played. TC has invited his friends for a fun ball game. And for tickets, of course, call 833-TWINS or go to twinsbaseball.com. And Gardner, with his speed, beats out an infield hit.
Yeah, that ball lined right back at Dickey. I believe it hit off of his glove and then deflected down the mound. And by the time Dickey could react to it, Gardner, with his speed, beat it out. Right back up the middle. And Dickey knocking it down. And by the time he finds it, a normal runner. That's an out right there. But Gardner picks up his third hit of the ball game.
Cervelli has had a productive day at the plate. A sacrifice fly in the second. A single leading off the fourth and a run scored. He hit a rocket that Punto caught in the fifth, then an RBI double in the sixth. Fastball missing inside, ball one. White Sox now have beaten the Indians 10-6, so the Twins are in danger of slipping behind Chicago into third place. This one squirted to the right side. Punto to first, two down, and Gardner advances to second. And the White Sox come to town here after the Yankees leave town, and they've moved Gavin Floyd and John Danks back a day to get them a start against the Twins right before the break. Chicago's first trip here this year. Here's Ransom. To right field, hit right at Kadire, and a scoreless eighth posted for R.A. Dickey.
spectacular on the mound for the New York Yankees tonight. He went 7 strong, gave up just the 3 hits. Break down his performance. How about Carlos Gomez's catch to rob A-Rod of a grand slam? We'll break that one down, plus get reaction from Twins manager Ron Gardenhire on Quest Twins Live immediately following this ball game between the Twins and the Yankees. Dick and Bert.
Thank you, sir. Gomez will lead off the 8th for the Twins against a new New York pitcher.
Yeah, Brett Tomko coming out of the bullpen, making his 14th appearance for the Yankees. Called up on May 9th by the Yankees. Started the season down at the AAA level.
Fastball misses inside, ball 1.
There are the numbers on Tomko, making his 14th appearance. He's worked only 17 1/3 innings out of the bullpen.
1-1. Eric Hinsky just acquired, and he's back at third base where his major league career started. Seen him in the outfield and at first base over the last several years. Another ground ball to the left side, third time that Gomez has pulled the ball and grounded out to the left side, 1 away. And that'll bring up Punto. Punto drew the only walk issued by Sabathia and never budged from first base.
Yeah, Sabathia worked his first 7 innings. They gave up only 3 hits, 1 run, the home run coming off the bat of Michael Kadire, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He threw an even 100 pitches, 68 for strikes.
Never threw a pitch without a lead. The Yankees got a run in the first, kept adding throughout his 7 innings of work to the point where he left with a 9-run lead. Outside, 1-1.
Tomko, a former starter at the major league level when he first came up with the Cincinnati Reds back in 1997.
2-1.
Yankees are his 9th different organization to pitch for at the major league level. 36-year-old.
And a fastball misses, 3-1. Punto draws his 2nd walk of the evening. And now Span. Look at Span's numbers, and he went through that tough stretch where he still wasn't feeling 100% coming off the disabled list. And he had the 5-hit game, 1 for 3 tonight. And the average, the hope is by the All-Star break will be right where it's been most of the year, right up around 300. 292 as he stands in here against Tomko. Strike 1. The hope is in the second half of the year the Twins will obviously be healthy, especially the key players like Mauer and Span. They just had some weird things this year, starting with Mauer. I mean, there was no owner's manual for how you bring a catcher back from his deal. And obviously that's worked out pretty well. The Twins handled that pretty well. He had Kadire, who just suddenly his finger blew up on him. And a little cortisone shot took care of that. Bouncer to second, Span retired, and Punto to second base. And then Span's whole deal where he had an inner ear infection. It affected his equilibrium. These weren't just hamstrings or strained elbows or anything like that, just really peculiar injuries.
Well, that's why you look where the Twins are. They lose today. They're still 2 games over 500. Kevin Slowey, hopefully that wrist and that cortisone shot will help that wrist, and he's going to come back after the All-Star break. You hang in there as long as you can, and you hope you get everybody healthy, and then that smile on Ron Gardenhire's face will carry all the way into September and hopefully early October.
Here's Harris. Harris just having a tough time right now centering the ball. One strike. One and one. And a swing and a miss. When we faced the Yankees in May in New York, of course, Harris was playing some at second base, some at third. And Punta was the starting shortstop. The Twins made the switch because Harris was hitting the ball so well. Now for the first time since becoming a starting player, and there he goes, a base hit, it'll score a run. So Harris, in an otherwise gloomy Minnesota night, baseball-wise, has something to take into tomorrow night.
Oh, good, a sharp RBI single right there by Harris. He picks up his 23rd RBI as the walk has hurt Tomko this inning, as Nick Punto scores the second run for the Twins. Fastball that just kind of came right back into that swing. A line drive base hit. Lands in front of Gardner. And it's a 10-2 ball game.
I'm going to bring up Morales. Mauer went 0 for 3 and postponed at least for a day his entry into the leadership in the American League in batting. Foul back to the net. Will be in the lineup, you would think, the rest of the way here, either as the catcher or the designated hitter. The tapper to the right side. And Teixeira to the pitcher covering. The Twins get a run in the 8th, but still trail by 8.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Well, there's Matt Tolbert at first base, replacing Justin Morneau. Cabrera on the first pitch, lifting it to center. An easy play for Gomez. 1 away.
Well, the short start by Scott Baker. Brian Dunsing came in. Now R.A. Dickey has to get the final 2 outs here in the 9th. And again, you know what? I mean, you look at R.A. Dickey. He is so valuable to the bullpen, working 2+ innings here so far. Saving some of those arms that might be used tomorrow.
Here's Teixeira. 3 hits in the ball game. 2-0. Second look at R.A. Dickey. He had a fly ball to center against him in the 7th. Three and 0.
If he goes back to that fastball, what he threw 3-0.
And a ground ball single. Teixeira with 4 singles in the game tonight.
Well, you mentioned earlier he hasn't hit a home run in a long time, but you know, this guy is just a very good hitter.
Third baseman Eric Hinsky.
One of those hitters that just finds the holes all the time.
Here's Hinsky.
Hinsky coming over from the Pittsburgh Pirate organization.
And Hinsky, of course, former Rookie of the Year player for the Blue Jays, made his Yankee debut in the 4-game series against Toronto.
Traded over from the Pirates on June 30th to the Yankees.
2-0. Sharply hit Harris. Capunto to Tolbert, who kept a foot on the bag. Stretch Tolbert with a nice completion of the double play. Tolbert will lead things off in the 9th against Tomko. It'll be Tolbert, Cuddyer, and Grady. Morneau had gone 0 for 3. Mauer had gone 0 for 3. So Sabathia did a real good job against all the Twins hitters, particularly the 3 and 4 hitters in the middle of the Twins lineup. Two 2-0. Ouch. That sickening, awful, nauseating sound.
Well, CC Sabathia, very good night on that pitching mound. 7 very good innings. They have 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. The only damage, the Kadire home run coming in the second inning with 1 out. Sabathia looking for his 8th win of the year. 100 pitches for Sabathia, 68 of them were strikes.
And now Kadire, 1-0. Kadire with the home run to left, a liner to center, and then he fouled out to Teixeira in the 7th. You don't like to lose these games, but the first 3 losses the Twins had in New York, I would think, are infinitely more painful than something like this that just kind of spun out of control from the beginning.
Well, you're going to come to the ballpark and you're anticipating playing the Yankees, and things just didn't work out. Scott Baker just got really the club on the wrong foot. Just did not have anything tonight.
Kadire with a high fly to left. Cabrera ranges back, puts it away for out number 2. And that'll bring up Joe Creedy.
We came into the ballpark and looking and saying, Twins pitching since June 9th, 15-9. Combined ERA of the whole staff, 3.25. Well, not the way that you want to start a 3-game series like Baker did here tonight.
Ten runs for the Yankees, and 4 of the runs scored after walks to batters. In other words, 4 men who reached on walks came around to score. Creedy fouls it away, 2 strikes. And Joe Girardi's team that was struggling when the Twins faced the Yankees back in May has played much better baseball as of late. You can't afford to. You couldn't back in May. You certainly can't now in July walk as many as the Twins have. Here's a little chopper foul. So the Twins will hope for better things tomorrow from Glenn Perkins, who faced the Yankees in the final game of that series and then went on the disabled list.
Yeah, he's had 2 very good outings, so hopefully he'll carry it into tomorrow, because a tough amount opponent in A.J. Burnett. He's been pitching very good baseball.
Two strikes.
There's A.J. Burnett. He'll be starting tomorrow night against Glenn Perkins.
And Creedy lifts a high fly to right. And the Yankees have made it 5 straight against the Twins, convincingly here tonight, 10-2.
Well, back to the drawing board for the Minnesota Twins. The Yankees just too tough on them tonight. It was a good ball game until that 5-run top of the 5th inning made it a 10-1 game.